Hey guys, finally I have some free time today to make this video about how to get into English. Well, 4 years ago I never thought that one day I would be good at English, but turned out for what I just didn't enjoy the way I learned English before. And unfortunately, how I get to this level of English is not all because what I have learned from school. So that's why I'm making this video, first to share my experience, and also I want to improve my English as well. Before we start, I want to mention a few things. This video is not for one who is already good at English, because I'm not an expert in English, and well, you can see, I haven't spoken perfectly English yet, and my grammar and writing skill still suck. So I'm here just to tell my story, and I know, if you ever wonder what is the feeling when you get into English is, well, it is awesome. Just like one day when you wake up, you basically can understand, watch, learn anything in the internet without waiting for Vietnamese subtitle. You can travel to anywhere around the world with your English, and you can speak to a lot of people, like approximately 1.5 billion people around the world could speak English. How cool is that? And there are a few tips will be given in this video about how I get into English. And let's get started. Tip number 1, looking for your passions. Well, I know a lot of people say that confidence is the most important key when you're learning English. It's true, but it's not only in English, but in anything else. However, I think you have to be good at some point to consider confidence. So for me, the most important key when you're learning English is motivation or passions. So you see, I hate to use the word study or exam to describe about English, because I think the best way to learn English is not when you have to study or when you have to pass any kind of English exam, but when you really want to know and understand English. And you have to answer this question: why do you really want to learn English? And do you really need English? Well, and don't give some bullshit answer like, because I want to have a better job, I want to have a better salary. Well, it's not wrong, but what exactly the job you're looking for, and why need English? English is great, but it's not everything. Usually could be successful without English, unless you want to be an English teacher, no doubt for that. For example, a lot of millionaires around the world could not speak English, so do you. And what you're looking for is something simple, but that is what you really want to do. Like, you want to understand Hello from Adele, you want to read Harry Potter original versions, something like that, simple. And I know a lot of you study English because you want to study abroad. But make sure one thing, you should follow your dream, not your parents. So choose a country that's where you live, and be prepared for that, because life is not always what you expect. Okay, tip number 2, slowly changing your habit. Well, I know that changing your habit is really difficult, that's why I say slowly. But you have to agree with me one thing: the quickest way to learn English or anything else is when you do it every day. You can start with something simple, like changing the setting of your phone, your Facebook, Gmail account from Vietnamese to English. If you like manga, K-pop, find an English website, it's much more updated. And I think YouTube is the best place to start. Like watching Ellen Show, American Got Talent, or vloggers. 5 from 5 to 10 minutes video, and turn on the English subtitle. Recently, I'm really interested in blockchain technology and Bitcoin, so that's why I watch this every day. Warning: don't try to use anyone's recommendations, like watching Friends. Just do anything you still do in daily life activities, but now find an English source for that. And last but not least, tip number 3, improve your Vietnamese. Well, I know it sounds irrelevant, but I think there's really strong connection between Vietnamese and English. To be honest, how I can speak English like that is just because of my Vietnamese. I know some guy probably will say, but everyone is good at Vietnamese. But what I really mean here is your Vietnamese skill, your confidence when you speak in public, when you convince people, your humor, and then the job is really easy. Just transfer everything you know in Vietnamese to English, and that's it. I mean, if you are good at Vietnamese, you may be good at English. But this one is definitely true. If you are good at English, you definitely are good at Vietnamese. Of course, it's only true if you are Vietnamese and learning English. But you can see a relation between English and Vietnamese. To recap, English is necessary, but it's not important. So don't try to judge people only based on their English. And you should find your own way to fall in love with English, and don't ever blame that because you don't have a chance to go to study abroad. That's why your English is never getting better. Because I know a lot of people who live in Vietnam who could speak English better than me. Next video I will talk about how to speak English like native speaker. I think it will be interesting, maybe. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Peace out. Please wait a few seconds before you leave. I found it really interesting record. I think I did this 4 years ago. And don't make fun of me. Thanks.
Immigrant in the United States, a pot, a quilt, a choir. The melting pot in the 20th century.